Hello, friends. If you haven't been here before, my name is Tina from Quantum Healing with Tina and Karen, and I'm a Beyond Quantum Healing practitioner. And today I have some information for you that just really blew my mind. So let me give you a little bit of a backstory. I've been talking a lot recently about the connection between the pyramids and the matrix pods and soul extraction. And I've talked a lot about my first regression when I saw myself in the matrix pods inside of the pyramid with the grays and that whole story, right? Well, there was another brief part of that session that I've never really talked about because it felt so insignificant at the time, but I've always wondered about it. It's kind of been in the background. So let me tell you about that. So in my first regression, I landed in this desert scene. And the very first thing that happened was there was a man. He was maybe mid 50s, whitish gray hair, white clothes, looked very thin and disheveled, very disheveled, like he had been running through the desert looking for water. And his skin was tan, and he came to me asking for help. And I told my practitioner this, and she kind of just pushed me past him. So we never got to find out where he came from or what was happening with him, that he needed help. And it's always kind of just been there in the background, seemingly insignificant, running with a man in the desert. So recently, as we've been putting together all of these pieces of the puzzle, with Iris's session and Bonnie's death experience and my regression to the matrix pods, I was reminded of a session, a client session from May of this year, 2022, where she was a male in a lifetime where she was acting kind of like a slave and building the pyramids. Now, there was a lot involved in this session that seems to tie in with all of the information that we've been putting together recently. And what sparked my memory of that session was listening to Tim, the tactical advisor from that show with Linda Moulton Howe, Truth Hunters, that I listened to. And what he said was that the Greys had a base in the Himalayas. I mentioned this in the video about the client session because she also said that the aliens that she saw in this session that I'm about to share with you had a base in the Himalayas. So that sparked my memory of this session, and I wanted to go back and listen to the whole thing again. As I started listening to this session and picturing, visualizing the man that she was, the slave that was building these pyramids, I realized that she was the man that I saw in the desert in my regression. And that just totally blew my mind. Now, mind you, this is 3 years apart from my original regression to almost to the day. It's 3 years and a month after my regression that I had this session with this particular client. So 3 years later, I realized that she is the man I saw in the desert that day. And it makes 100% complete and total sense that she would be looking for help, that she would be in that desert near the pyramids. So let me just explain a little bit about her session before I share it with you. She's been very generous to allow this sharing so that we can continue to put the pieces together of what exactly is happening here. Just a little bit of a disclaimer for those of you who might not believe in space or aliens, because I know those are running themes these days, and that's perfectly fine. Whether you believe that, what we visualize as aliens, say, typical grays or reptilians or whatever it is, whether you believe that they're actual physical aliens or they're interdimensional beings or some kind of entities, it really doesn't matter because it's still happening. This is still being brought forward in the consciousness of humanity for a reason, right? So I don't think that all of these, details about whether there is space or not space, or this is a simulation or not a simulation, I don't find that those details are really important. I feel that what's important is the consciousness and what's coming forward in individual consciousness that is tapped in to the consciousness of the whole, right? So each person inside of them holds a piece of the puzzle. And that's how we begin to put together the whole picture. And that's why it's so important to do these kinds of sessions and explore consciousness to see what comes forward. So, a little bit about this session. My client found herself as a male in this lifetime, a slave. She was in her mid 50s, exactly how I saw this man, excuse me, in the desert. He was, what is the word? So she had contracted in to do this work because she needed money. So she gets to this site. She's watching what appear to be humans that are in charge here. However, she can see in their eyes that they're not really human. And what she finds out is that these malevolent beings, which she sees as these little, like, purple, tiny alien like beings with one eye, they're just like round, pill looking beings with one eye. She sees that they're really behind the construction of these pyramids for malevolent purposes because they are trying to harvest energy. Now, first, when we see beings inside of a session like this, we may not necessarily be seeing their true form. Sometimes our subconscious will bring us something a little bit different or something that's a little bit easier for the human to digest. That is not to say that was what she was seeing wasn't true. It's just that sometimes we'll see the actual forms of these beings, if they're scary, in a little bit different of a way. Because the energy of the way she describes these beings very much aligned with the energy of the Greys, just malevolent, evil, um, mind controlling. Like that's what they're doing. That's their whole MO and agenda here. So, what's happening is that they're constructing these pyramids, forcing slaves to assist them. So, what are they channeling the energy for? Why do they want to harvest this energy? Well, they're harvesting this energy and channeling it back to their base in the Himalayas to power machines that make human bodies that they can then inhabit. And that's really interesting because the whole agenda behind the Greys is to either inhabit human bodies or to use the soul or to merge with human consciousness. So the time period that we're seeing this in was not specific. The way she described it was very early on, very early. There's not a specific time here. But if we could think that this was back before the pyramids were formed, it was thousands of years ago, right? So the agenda of the Greys may have changed over time from just inhabiting cloned human bodies to using the soul to keep themselves alive to eventually what they're doing now is merging with human consciousness. Is what they're attempting to do. So that said, what's also an interesting piece of this is that not only are they cloning these human bodies to inhabit, which, by the way, reminds me of Dark City and how these, smaller type alien beings were inhabiting what they said in that movie was dead human bodies, which is basically the same thing as a cloned human body, because those clones don't have the soul aspect to animate them. They're just being animated by this alien being. So, what's interesting about that as well is that not only are they harvesting the energy from the pyramids across the globe to make their machines to make the bodies, but they're also using it to power technology. Now, this is thousands of years ago. We don't exactly know what kind of technology they had then, but they had enough technology to make human bodies, apparently. And we see that the technology that we're using today stems back to what they were doing then. So, all of this technology that we have in our modern day has been, for lack of a better word, downloaded into the human consciousness to then create that idea because it benefits them. It benefits them because where are they channeling us? They're channeling us into a transhumanistic timeline. That's where they're taking us. So, another interesting part of this session was that she also saw two ships, one with those beings on it, and one with humans on it, humans from Mars that were watching what was happening here on Earth and were in a complete and total panic because they knew what these beings were doing. Now, I thought that was really interesting because it almost feels like it could be a prediction of the future. Um, and what we see also in this session is that they purposefully somehow brought in an asteroid, and this asteroid crashes on Earth by the pyramids close by so that the Earth would start sending energy there to try to heal herself. So just like when we have a cut on our skin and it gets red and inflamed because the body's sending all, energy there to try to heal it, the earth does the same thing. So what they did was they caused this asteroid strike, and then the energy that the earth was sending there to try to heal that, they then took and tunneled back to their base to use for their own purposes, to generate more of their machines, more human bodies, more technology. So there's a lot of different connections to be made here. And I think ultimately more to explore with this specific client and this specific lifetime that we could probably make more connections with. The interesting thing about, my mind is just blown from making the connection that I actually saw her running through the desert trying to escape, because ultimately she was trying to escape this, the contract she had made with these beings because she could see through them. She knew exactly what they were doing. and she didn't want to be a part of it anymore. So she eventually escaped and ran away. And it's blowing my mind that I actually saw that. I saw her, well, him running away from that scene. And it's interesting in the session that she mentions feeling thirsty, that she had no water. And when I saw her running through the desert, that's what she looked like, or he looked like, that he was, yeah, just like dehydrated and had no water and needed help. So I don't think this is a coincidence or an accident that this is coming back around right now. I think there are deeper layers to be found within these sessions, and that we shouldn't just take them for face value, but that there's a lot of symbology and a lot of deeper meaning um, that I'm finding, even in my own regression. That was what also, 3 years ago. Yeah, 3.5 years ago now. I'm still finding more and more information that is connecting in. It wasn't an accident that I saw myself in the pod inside of that pyramid. The pyramids have something to do with the soul extraction. Um, and it's not an accident that Bonnie, woke up in the pod in her death experience and then was in a desert scene. Those things aren't accidents. That's all of this is coming forward for a reason. And you guys know, if you've been around for a while, like, I don't share information unless I feel it's really important. And I don't share recycled information. All of this is new information. All of this is coming from the consciousness of humanity right here and now. It's not somebody else's work that we're just talking about or discussing or repeating over and over. Those things can be helpful, but to actually go in and do these explorations and retrieve new information, things that we haven't known before, I think is so valuable. And I'm so thankful to our clients who come to us and do this with us and trust us enough to allow us to guide them in this way. It really means the world to me, because I think that right here and now, in this time and space, we have everything we need. It's just a matter of accessing it. It's just a matter of accessing it. We have everything that we'll ever need inside of us. All of this information that comes forward is coming from inside of us, inside of our clients. We have this within our consciousness. It's just a matter of tapping into it. So, if any of you are interested in exploring out there, I would love to be your practitioner and take you on a journey and see what your consciousness has to present to us and what pieces that you hold. So, I'm going to share this clip with you guys. I would love to hear your thoughts if anything comes forward for you while you're listening, because a lot of times these sessions can spark ideas and thoughts and knowings that you have deep within you. So I would love to hear if anything comes forward for you while you're listening to this. And I'm grateful to our client for allowing us to share this, because I think it's a really important piece. So I will see you on the other side. Enjoy.
So, I'm in a place with men, a lot of men I see here, and it feels like a place that dry. There's no water here, and I can see cracks on the ground, and people are wearing like Egyptian clothes,
Hmm.
wearing white long clothes, and they are building something.
Hmm.
It's a big building site.
Mhm.
People are angry a little bit.
Why are they angry?
I think they don't want to build a place, but they are forced to build it.
Hmm. What is it that they're building?
It feels like pyramids.
Okay. And tell me about you anchoring into this body, looking down at your feet. What do your feet look like?
It feels like it looks like I'm not wearing anything. I'm barefoot,
Okay.
and my feet looks like cracked. My skin is cracked, and I got brownish skin. I'm a male.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a man. And just in the building side, just on the construction side,
How old do you feel?
I feel like I'm 50, 55, and
Okay.
I feel older. Like my body is not young, feeling young or vital. It feels old.
Hmm. And what are you feeling here in this scene?
It's like they are forcing me to be here. I don't want to be there, but it feels like it's something that I need to do in order to feel some peace because they pushing people
Mm-hmm.
to work.
Who is it that is forcing people to work?
It feels like entities not from the world. It's like they are forcing people to build that pyramids,
Mm.
other beings.
Okay.
Before I come here, I felt like I was in a ship and probably I was seeing them with my eyes.
Tell me about that. What do they look like?
They look like human bodies. They don't look like different than us. Their bodies are similar to us, but they are wearing like helmets.
Mm-hmm. What kind of helmets? What does it look like?
It looks like a normal spaceship helmet that astronauts wear. Doesn't seem different than that. Maybe the humans are in the spaceship.
Hmm.
The aliens, I couldn't see the aliens. I
Okay.
feel their presence though. It feels like they are purplish color. Now I can see them.
Okay. Tell me what they look like.
They got purple skins, but they are very small. They don't have a big body. They are small, like maybe like a bottle, 1 liter of bottle
Mm-hmm.
big, but they are super, super intelligent.
Hmm. Okay. Do they have arms and legs?
No, they don't have any. They got one eye. They
Okay.
don't have a face. They just got one eye and purple skins.
So what does the body look like then?
Looks like a bug.
Okay.
They don't have legs or hands. It's just a pill-like beings. They look like pills
Hmm. Are
with
they
an eye.
oblong or round?
They round. They are
Round.
round. Yeah,
Hmm. How many do you notice here in the ship?
two.
Two. And
Yeah,
what is their intention?
they just want to control people and make a um place them for themselves to control it. Yeah,
And who else do you notice on the ship with them? You mentioned there were humans present.
I think humans were outside of that ship. There are two ships. The human ship is trying to find that entity ship. Like there's a fight between them,
Mm-hmm.
But humans, some of the humans in the world are suffering, and that humans are in the ship. So I don't know how to relate to that. Doesn't feel right.
Okay.
So technology is not good in the world to go to the space and be like that. But I see humans as well.
Okay. Well, regardless of any of those limitations, tell me what you're noticing about the humans in their ship. How many
They
humans?
Yeah, there are two humans, one woman, one man, and they are super freaked out by something. They
Mm-hmm.
are anxious and they look like sad about something as well.
Mm-hmm. So tuning into their conversation, just hovering above them, tuning into their conversation. And what do you hear them talking about?
The entities are pretty happy. They are talking about, oh, we now control them. We got all the power. They are they don't intelligent enough to understand our intentions. We trick them.
Hmm. So they tricked the humans?
Yeah, they trick the humans.
And how did they do that?
They are mind controlling them.
Hmm. Tell me more about that. How do they mind control the humans?
Telepathically putting some thoughts in their heads,
Hmm.
and maybe human thinks that it's their idea to build it.
Oh, okay. So these beings are telepathically placing thought forms in the humans to build the pyramids.
Yes, that's right.
Hmm. And what is the purpose of that? Why do these entities want the humans to build the pyramids?
I think it's like a coordinational alignment of something.
Hmm.
They are getting benefits from it. The coordinations of the place is right for sucking the energy.
Mm. So the alignment of where they're building these pyramids is somehow helping them to harvest energy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
And why, what are they using this energy for?
They are using to build their technology or go forward in technology. Like they are putting the energy in the machines.
Mm.
So machines can work like electricity that we are using,
Hmm.
but more powerful. There are like round machines, big machines, rounded. They're using it. They're using human power to run that machines.
How do these machines function for them? What do these machines do?
Yeah, it's so weird. They are producing human bodies.
They're producing human bodies.
Yeah,
Okay, tell me more about that. What do you see?
I see like a metallic room with rounded machines. I see one of them very clearly, and the machine is has like different parts, but it's very visible. You can see how it works.
Tell
It's not
me.
like closed machine.
Hmm. Tell
It's
me, just,
open.
yeah, describe the machine for me and tell me how it works.
So the machine is rounded, and it's like you can't see the energy inside, but you can see some parts of it, and there are some pipes around it and inside of it as well. And it's like producing human bodies for disguising them as a human.
Oh, okay. So, okay. So how does this work? So they produce the human bodies, and then what happens with the body?
They put themselves in the bodies, and they act like humans in the world.
Hmm. Very interesting. How do they put themselves into the body? Can you visualize that? How do they
it
do
f-
that?
it feels like they just go inside and close the body somehow, like it's like gluing the flesh inside
Hmm. Okay.
without the soul. Though there's no soul in them.
Okay. So there's no soul. These are human bodies that are inhabited by these purplish beings.
Yeah, the beings are purple, and they are like pills, and they come inside of the bodies of human. They are using human bodies to disguise themselves in the world.
Hmm. What time period does this feel like?
It feels like early, very early times. I don't know where um when was it, but it feels like very early ages.
Okay. And after they put themselves into these human bodies, what happens next? What do they do?
The eyes, I can see the eyes of the human. The eyes doesn't have any soul in it. It's when they go inside of the body, they jump in, like they jump in the body, and they close themselves in the body, but they live in the
Hmm.
belly of the human, and they act like human beings. And the eyes, when you look at the eyes are like no soul in it.
Hmm. Okay. Hmm. And so let's just go back to that other ship for a moment where those two humans were freaked out about something.
Yeah.
Just going back to that space and tuning in here again, telling me what's happening here with the humans. Why are they freaked out and upset about something?
They see the pyramids, they see them, and they understand that um the beings were just using that spot for energies. So they understand that, and then they can't do anything about it, and they start panicking.
Hmm.
So they don't have anyone to talk about it. It feels like they are alone.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like they are just wandering around, and then they just see this.
Hmm. And these humans are in a ship.
Yeah, they are in the ship, like a rounded ship.
What do these humans look like? Can you describe them?
The woman looks like she has a dark hair and big eyes, big beautiful eyes, and has she's I can't understand her weight or something like that. She's wearing a clothing to cover her body, but her face looks like she's in her 40s or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy has a black hair and he has lines on his forehead and he has a big nose,
Hmm.
small lips.
Hmm.
And yeah, I can see that.
What kind
That's
of
it.
good? Very good. What kind of clothes are they wearing?
They're wearing like astronaut clothes that we see in the moon missions and things like that. It's not different than that.
Hmm. So, tuning into the consciousness of these beings and asking them where they are from,
Which beings?
the humans that you see on the ship here,
They're from Mars.
Mars.
uh,
Okay. And why are they here watching what's happening on Earth?
because they were just wandering outside and they just seen that world was getting used by them,
Hmm.
and they are just freaking out because of that.
Hmm. Okay.
They don't have anyone to talk about.
Okay. Hmm. So let's go back down to the ground where you were in this body of the male, traveling back down into that body and anchoring into that body again. And tell me what's happening down here on the ground.
I feel like I can feel the tension of this body. It feels like I'm thirsty and I don't have any water with me. Feels like I'm a slave.
Hmm. Okay. So let's close out this scene and we're going to rewind time to see how you ended up here as a slave. Just closing out this scene, letting it fade away. And we're going to drift backwards in time to an important day that shows us how you ended up here as a slave, drifting and floating. And be there now and tell me what you notice.
I'm in a house, like a small village house with my family. I'm wearing again white clothes and I put some headscarf on my head, like white and red color. And I got one boy. He's 5 years old or 4. And I got a wife, and she looks like she's from somewhere else.
Hmm. What does she look like?
She looks like she's a little bit chubby. She's very cute though. She's got a really good heart and she take care of me
Hmm.
and my child, our boy.
When you say she looks like she's from somewhere else, what do you mean?
She's from a different land, from a different country.
Okay.
She's not from where we live at that moment. Maybe another village or maybe another country. I can't tell that.
Okay. What does she look like?
She looks like she has a dark hair, straight hair, big eyes again, and she's got a medium nose and big lips.
What color?
And
What color is her skin?
yeah, skin is like lighter than mine. Mine is a little bit more brownish than her. She has a medium tone skin.
Hmm. Okay. And how do you feel here in this scene with your wife and your little boy? What is the feeling that you get?
I'm really happy to be in the house. I like it, but we are having some difficulties about money.
Hmm.
So I need to work in that construction in order to get some money. But I feel like a slave in there. So they slave me with the money. I do it just for the money and food.
Hmm.
We look like we are poor. We don't have many things around the house. We just have one rounded table on the floor.
Mhm.
It looks like a tray more than a table. And we don't have a couch. We just have things to sit on it
Mhm.
and um some like a, it's not a furniture, but it looks like a um looks like I pile things up to make a furniture.
Mhm. Where do you
Yeah,
sleep?
I don't know. I think we sleep there. All of our place is just one small place. There's no room in it, just one place. We
Okay.
sleep on that couch type thing.
Mhm. Okay. So how did you end up working for the construction of the pyramids? How did you end up working there?
My friend told me when we were sitting when we were sitting in some place like a it seems like it's very dry, but I see a tree like something, but it's very dry. It doesn't have leaves on it. It's just a dry trunk. And we were sitting underneath it, and he was telling me that, oh, have you heard about this job? They are paying good. Let's go and work there. I know that you are having some difficulties. Let's go.
Mm. How old do you feel here in this scene with your friend?
It's like at the end of my 40s, 49.
Okay. Mm.
So I was working there maybe 6 years.
Okay. And so moving to the time where you're going to this site and agreeing to work for them, tell me about the person that hires you.
He's wearing a suit kind of clothes, like a soldier.
Mm.
Soldiers, but it's the color of the um uniform is dark. It's like dark brownish or dark grayish color. Yeah, dark grayish color. And he's wearing a hat, like a fez.
Okay. What are there any emblems or writings on the uniform?
No, just the belt. I can
Okay.
see the belt.
Okay. And what does he say to you?
His intention is not good. It feels like he knows what's going on.
Does he feel human to you?
He looks like possessed.
Okay. So his intention is not good. What is his intention?
It feels like he knows what's going on behind the scenes, like these beings are affecting him, or maybe he's wearing a body,
Hmm.
maybe that's the being. I can't tell.
Okay. So he agrees
He's
to.
tricking. He's very tricky.
It's tricky. Yeah.
Even I think that's the being, because I think he's playing with my mind.
Mm. How so? What are you noticing?
It feels like there's some um interference from somewhere. When I'm thinking about this guy, I can't tell. So this being is affecting how I'm thinking.
Okay. And so, what kind of thoughts is it implanting?
So he's just disguising himself and thinking that he's the human, but he's not the human.
Okay. And so, you eventually agreed to work for them, right?
Yeah,
Did you feel manipulated into that, or did you agree?
I feel manipulated because I feel like the intention is not good, and I think they are using my vulnerability about being poor and needing the money.
Yeah. Okay. So, what happens next?
I start working, but I notice people around, and I notice that I'm thinking different than them. People seem like they don't understand, and I don't have nobody to talk about this.
So, how are you thinking different than the others?
I don't know, it's just a feeling that I'm getting them. They are they feel like not good to me, but people seem like they don't care about what's going on. They just care about what they earn. So this land is full of poor people, and they need help. They are super vulnerable to these kind of things, and I don't know how I'm feeling it, but I'm just feeling it. It's there's something wrong.
Hmm. So, you're feeling like there's something wrong here with what they're doing,
Yeah.
but the others can't notice it.
No, they seem like they are in their heads all the time, and they are thinking about their home while they are working. They don't pay attention what's happening.
Hmm. So, you have more of an insight into what's happening here.
Yeah, I watch them. I watch them. That's why I know. I watch how they act and how they behave. People don't look at them.
Mm. So, who are the people there that you're noticing that are monitoring the workers?
They all wearing that uniform, the brownish or grayish color. I'm saying brown because it feels like there's some brownish color in it as well. So I'm seeing these people, and they have all different looks, and one of them is longer, like shorter. They got different types of bodies, and I noticed one guy who has a significantly shorter than the others, and he looks super suspicious, and he looks like he has some authority, the among the others.
Okay. How does he look different from the others?
He's shorter than the others, and he's more careful. he sense things more.
Hmm.
And they know that I know. They don't happy about it.
Tell me more about that.
When I look at them, they look back at me, especially this shorter one is smiling at me,
Hmm.
like laughing and smiling, just like ha ha ha.
Mhm. So these controllers here that you're noticing, are these the human bodies with the entities inside?
Yeah, they are. They were just tricking me back then, or just disguising them somehow. I couldn't feel it. So I now feeling it. They all the entities, the purple pill entities.
Hmm. And they notice that you know that there's something wrong here.
Yeah, and I'm feeling there's something going to happen, so I'm feeling a little bit scared as well.
Okay. Well, know that you are safe in this moment. You're safe to re-experience whatever it is. So just fast forwarding to the next important day and time, closing out this scene, letting it fade away. Fast forwarding to when something happens. And be there now. And tell me what you're noticing.
There's like crash of something to construction site. Something crashed. There's a big hole and residues around it. Maybe it's like a meteor or something like that.
Hmm. Okay. Anchoring into that scene, asking for the information to come forward clearly.
Asteroid.
An asteroid crashed into the construction site.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it somehow pleases the beings, purple beings, because it is gonna provide more energy.
Tell me more about that. How does this crash provide more energy for them?
Because people, the world is getting affected by it. So it feels like Earth is trying to heal her wounds and provide more energy to that area.
Oh, okay. So the earth is trying to heal the wound of this crash
Yeah,
and it's providing them more energy.
yeah.
How do they harvest that energy?
There are some like, I feel like there are some vein like things providing that passage, like
Where
human veins
where are these veins located?
in pyramids, in inside of the tiles and stones.
These veins are inside of the pyramids.
Yeah,
Where do they originate from? Where's the origin point of the veins?
they put the veins there, but it it feels like it's it's coming from Earth as well. Like they find open places on Earth, and they like cells or pores of the skin, like and they put the veins in that pores.
So in this space here where the asteroid hit, did it crash into the pyramids or somewhere else?
It crashed very near to pyramids. It's maybe 200 meters away.
Okay. And then because of the crash, the earth is sending more energy there to try to heal herself.
Yeah.
And this energy is being routed into the veins inside of the pyramid. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Okay.
Even maybe they crashed it for on purpose. They know it.
Hmm. So, how do they use this energy that's coming through the veins? How do they harness that for themselves?
It's like an invisible portal.
Hmm.
That portal goes to their base. That base is not the same place that I described before. That's a different place. It feels like it's in mountains, but it doesn't seem like it's in Egypt.
Okay, tell me about that.
It's mountains everywhere, nothing else, just mountains, and it feels like it's India.
Mm. So is this their main base on Earth?
Yeah, I think Himalayas. They are using Himalayas.
Mm. Okay, so let me get this straight. So they are taking the energy from the Earth that's trying to heal herself from this asteroid crash, channeling it into, it's being rerouted into the pyramids, and then going up through this portal to their main base in the Himalayas.
Yeah, they got a project in Earth, some projects going on Earth. That's why they are using Himalayas. It's not their actual like where they originate from.
Right. So this is the main base of their Earth project.
Yeah,
Okay. What do you notice here?
it's like a cave. They use a cave. Doesn't have anything, no tools, nothing, no machines, not visible, anything. I can't see anything inside. It's
Mhm.
just a cave. Maybe it's a good place to put that energy and manipulate it somehow without using tools, though. There's no tools in it.
Okay. So they're just like channeling the energy here to store it in the cave.
Yeah, they are storing it.
Okay. I'm wondering if you can see then what they use this energy for.
It feels like they are using to produce technology.
Okay.
Technology is their project on Earth.
What kind of technologies are they um, creating?
They even the computers and stuff that we are using today is coming from that project.
Okay. Tell me more about that.
they using that for manipulating that energy to give them the power to control the human beings in their minds, and they think that humans are producing this technology,
Mm-hmm.
so they are using to manipulate humans' minds that energy, and all the computers, the very basic form of the computers, and every machine, the cars and the things. They people think that they were their idea. They were invent inventions,
Mm-hmm.
but it is not.
Mm.
They are already have this technology or more, so they are distracting people.
So you're saying all the technological advances that we have today are being telepathically communicated to humans for them to invent, but it's actually coming from these beings.
Yeah, and they just they just do this, and they distract people with technology from their core.
They're distracting them from their core self.
Yeah, that's
That's
the project.
okay. So this started a long, long time ago,
Yeah, this started very long time ago.
and it's still happening today.
Yeah, it's still happening. This project is going to harm, and it is gonna cause a big eruption. This is gonna, I don't know, it feels like it's gonna be end of the world because of this technological project. This project is gonna be the end of this world.
How so? What are you noticing?
Chaos everywhere. It's super dark. It's the sky, the sun is not there anymore. There's no light. It's all crashing machines and big robots and flames everywhere, electrical flames.
Mhm. So, why is this their goal? What is their goal here? Why do they want this kind of chaos and destruction?
They just want to end this world, and they think that people humans are very big threat to them. They are scared actually.
What is it that they're scared of?
The human power itself,
And why are they afraid of the human power?
because they don't have it.
And that's why they need to manipulate.
Yeah. Let's drink some water.
Are you doing okay?
Yeah, this is just how evil they are, like using our energy and to end this world. And Earth is so wounded. she's so scared, and she's like trying to fix everything for everyone. She's giving and giving and giving.
Hello, friends. It's Tina again. So that's the end of the clip for now. The rest of the session was pretty much just personal healing information from the higher self that came forward. So, what's interesting about this is that this client is a security analyst, and her higher self brought forward this information to show her the dangers of this technology and spending too much time on it in an attempt to escape information searching. Can be a way that we use as a coping mechanism to escape and try to fill the void. So, in one sense, it was a warning for her. And in another, it's a warning for humanity to take a step back, to look at what we're doing with this technology, how we're using it, and to begin anchoring into an organic life, more organic instead of being on our devices all of the time. This is pulling us away from our connection with ourselves, from presence, from being connected with each other in real life. And this session demonstrates the potential dangers and the chaos and destruction that it could potentially cause. And that's really the whole goal of what these entities are doing, trying to channel us into that timeline of transhumanism and destruction and chaos. They want to destroy us because they are jealous of us. They want us to be like them. And their whole goal here is to create that destruction. And in this session, we so clearly see that the pyramids themselves were created by these malevolent beings to harvest and channel energy, which aligns with the information we shared previously in the Matrix Pods videos recently about how they were being used for soul extraction and harvesting. So I wanted to share this just because it aligns with what we saw in my regression and Bonnie's NDE, how those are all aligning, that the pyramids are actually have been created by malevolent forces to, one, harvest the energy of the earth to use for their own purposes. And what I'm seeing now is the pyramids gathering the energy of the earth and sending it back to Orion. That vision just came to me. So maybe that's why the earth is working so hard and working so hard and working so hard, and things are a mess here because our earth energy is being channeled back to Orion along with our consciousness and our soul energies. So, just very interesting connections to consider. Never, of course, saying that this is 100% truth. These kind of sessions just give us a glimpse inside possibilities and a glimpse inside of our own consciousness. So, that said, also considering the fact that, you know, maybe these beings have transformed over time from, little purple pill beings into gray beings or whatever. It really doesn't matter. But there's an alien force here, or whatever you want to call it. There's a malevolent force here that is not working in humanity's best interests. They're working in their own interests. And the potential is there for destruction and chaos. I mean, we're seeing it now. So we all, yeah, we cannot save the entire collective, right? All we can do as individuals is focus on our own lives, connection with each other, and how to get out of this mess. I think there's definitely more to be uncovered here. more connections to make to bring us into a fuller understanding of how to escape the matrix, so to speak. And I was talking about that recently with someone in a comment about how to escape from the matrix. And honestly, I really think that part of that, of escaping, is retrieving our soul aspects that are in these pods. And how do we do that? I think that it's just via intention alone and allowing the opening for that soul to reunite and embody in our current physical state so that when we die, we're not waking up inside of that pod and into the void or being channeled back to Orion or whatever is happening there, but we can go through the portal in the heart with the intention of returning home. And because life attracts life, I'm sure there's an aspect of our consciousness that has remained home, wherever that is. Um, and when we intend to go through the portal of the heart to reunite with that portion of our consciousness, I think it will be a lot easier than we're expecting, that it doesn't have to be so complicated. Um, so I think that's all I want to say for now. I hope you enjoyed that, received some insight or wisdom. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments if you have any connections or intuited anything while you were listening to that. And yeah, I would love to hear from you. I will see you next time. Thanks for listening. Bye.